Hello again. It's what day is it today? Shoot. Tuesday. Yes, it's Tuesday. Tuesday, the 30th of August. It's about 8:45 in the evening, and it's after work. This is a little later than usual. I did 2 admissions today, with 1 routine visit in between. And the routine visit was a lot of fun, and I got to drive through like a rural area with lots of like farmlands and gently rolling hills and all that good stuff. And then when I got to my next visit, which was my second admission of the day, I realized that I had left my notebook back at the previous patient's house. And that was kind of a big deal because that house was like 45 minutes away from everything, because it's out in the farmland country. So at the end of my day, when I was all done at around 7:30 or so, I had to drive all the way back to that place to pick my notebook up so I could document the admission I did already. It's not good. That's a big chunk of my time lost driving. That's like an extra hour and a half worth of driving. And at the end of my day too. So I've got to document all this stuff now. I got 2 admissions and a routine visit to document. And that is going to keep me up pretty late. I've got 2 more admissions tomorrow, but they let me take the charts home, so I can just start from home tomorrow and just call the people from home and just show up and do my stuff that way. So that should be fun. But the really exciting news that I just got an email. Ooh, this guy's slowing down a little bit. Oh yeah, because my brakes are on, right? I just got an email from my supervisor. There's 2 supervisors in this place. I just got an email from, quote unquote, my supervisor. And she said that I should email back and pick a time when I can meet with the other supervisor to discuss me getting regular shifts, which is really exciting. I don't know exactly what they're proposing or what they have in mind, but I can't wait to find out. I don't know if it's a full-time position or if they just want me to come in like 2 or 3 regular days a week, but that's pretty huge for me because I've been per diem at this job for a year now. I think my year anniversary was last Tuesday. And, I don't mind being per diem, and I've been getting a lot of shifts, but the prospect of having a regular schedule of, like, regular days when I show up is pretty exciting. And I take it as a sign of their confidence in me that I'm working out, as the saying goes. So that is something to look forward to at the end of my day tomorrow, after I do my next 2 admissions, to swing back to the office and talk about regular shifts. So after a year, I'll be a regular hospice nurse instead of one of those fancy per diem nurses. So I was pretty psyched when I heard that. When I got the email, I got it on the road, because I get my emails on the same smartphone I'm talking to you now through. And the email popped up, and I was very, very happy to read it. So I'll have more info about that tomorrow. I did have to cancel my big after-work activity today that I was planning on doing with a buddy of mine. That I've been crawling around the wreckage and the ruins of our old elementary school, which is disused now because of school consolidation. But me and a friend of mine, we're going to go back and check out the nature trail that we helped build when we were little kids in Cub Scouts or whatever. There was this nature trail that was behind the school, and the school is falling to pieces, and it's ruined. So I just thought it would be cool to go check out the nature trail and see how it is similarly ruined, I would imagine. In terms of the structures, like the bridges and stuff that we built, and the walkways and what have you. We might get some interesting photos out of it. I got some interesting photos out of just the school, which are up on Facebook and Google Plus and all that good stuff. And classes are on hold right now, I guess. I got an email from somebody at Sacred Heart, and they said that classes are on hold because of the flood damage. We just had that big hurricane, Hurricane Irene or something like that, and we didn't get hit at all. The power flickered a couple of times, but we didn't lose power or anything. So I invited whoever wanted to from my local, group of friends to come over and use the laundry, use the stove, or recharge their laptops, that kind of thing. Nobody took me up on that though. That's okay. But yeah, classes on hold, I guess. I wasn't really that excited to start sinking my teeth into this special version of Western civilization concocted for a Catholic university. That's always a bad sign when they release a special edition of your history textbook specifically for your school. That's never a good sign, Catholic intellectual tradition or no. I kind of skimmed through the book a little bit, and it's very, very general, very broad overview of history, of, you know, modern European history. It's like I'm taking high school modern European history all over again. Not very excited about that. I am very excited about this meeting tomorrow, though. When I get home, I have to remember to write an email to my supervisor to tell her that I'll be by to see her after my second admission of the day. Maybe I could do it in between. I got one admission at 10 and one admission at 1. So I'll probably be done with the admission at 10 by at least noon. That would give me time to stop by the office. Yeah, but maybe it would be better to do it after I finish both my visits. That's the tricky thing, though, because if the one that starts at 1 lasts me a long time, which happens sometimes, then I wouldn't be able to get back to the office before close, and I would miss out. Yeah, maybe I'll do it in between the admissions. I actually did something today that I've been thinking about doing a lot, but I'd never quite crossed the line into doing it. And that was in the process of teaching a family member how to take care of their bedbound parent, which they were very enthusiastic to do, you know, and very all in on the whole family caregiver home care thing. I actually corrected somebody on the whole. I forget what word I mean to use, like diminutive style of speech, or like baby talk. Diminutive, is that the word? Like diminutive speech. I suggested very cautiously suggested, and afterwards apologized and said that I didn't, you know, it wasn't my place to criticize, but I suggested maybe not using baby talk when, you know, providing personal care for your dying father. The person was very receptive. Or at least outwardly appeared to be very receptive. So I'm glad I took the plunge and actually suggested that, because that's something that sticks out to me. You know, it stands out. It was something I had to be on the lookout for in the nursing home. But things are a little different in home care because, you know, they're the boss because it's home care. But that kind of what is the phrase that I'm looking for? Infantilization. That kind of infantilizing. You guys know what I'm trying to talk about. That kind of thing, I was always very careful to say something to my coworkers when I noticed them doing it, because we were the caregivers in that skilled nursing facility, you know, milieu. But in home care, it's a little bit different. But it still kind of gnaws on me when I see that kind of thing. And I think with a little bit of education, people can look at things a little bit differently. Because, I mean, the thing that would bother me about it anyway, even if I hadn't already been taught that it's not the right thing to do, is that the thing that bothers me, like, intrinsically about it, is that when somebody's doing that, they're sort of, like, putting on a character, or they're, like, doing an impression. They're acting in a way that is not them. They're sort of, like, I don't know how to, they're like inventing a character to deal with what's going on, so it's not them dealing with what's going on. And I really want to like encourage everybody to be present as much as they can, you know, when they're doing the whole, you know, home care, family caregiver end of life thing. And so I think I'm going to keep doing that. Yes, for sure. I wonder if our pharmacy is still open. I waited too long to call the pharmacy to admit a patient a couple of weeks ago, and I waited so late that the pharmacy was closed, but they had like the on-call emergency pharmacist, and I wasn't going to bug the on-call pharmacist just for an admission, so I ended up doing it the next day. But I called the pharmacy from the bedside for my first admission, which was the advice that one of the older, more experienced nurses gave me. Because one of the things that we do is we call our hospice pharmacy and we profile all the medications, and then everything that's covered in the, you know, the Medicare per diem, they just FedEx overnight to them, which is a great service to be able to provide. But if you actually call and do that at the bedside, then you know already which medications are going to be covered and which medications are not going to be covered. So they can, and the family can kind of plan ahead for which kind of medications they have to refill at the pharmacy and pay a copay for, and which medications they don't have to get because I'm going to ship them to them for free. So I was good about doing that on my first admission of the day, but the second admission of the day, I forgot. And maybe it was because it was, 8 o'clock at night and the house had no power. And there was a whole bunch of other things I was trying to do. But I guess these things always serve as a little reminder of the stuff that you forgot to try to remember it next time, I guess. Yeah, so now that they're apparently going to offer me some regular shifts, whatever that entails, really kind of strengthens my feeling that I should try to go for the CHPN certification and be a certified hospice and palliative care nurse. Because I put all of this time into it already, I might as well challenge one of those professional certs. I was going to do it for rehab, but the office politics made it so I didn't last there for more than 2.5 years. I'm not looking forward to studying this documentation. It's going to be pretty grueling. It's not all that bad if you just sit down and force yourself and then just chug through it and not pay attention to anything else. But I like to be able to be distracted while I'm doing it. I get up and take a walk or talk to somebody, and then when I sit down and start thinking about it again, I have some new insight or some different aspect of things that I wasn't thinking about before. So, I mean, rather than sit and document for 2 straight hours, I like to break it up every 10 minutes, get up and do something. But that makes it take even longer. So that's okay. I guess that's all I had for today. Nothing too exciting. Tomorrow I will have exciting news because I will be able to tell you about this new regular shifts thing, which should be pretty stellar. Pretty excited about it. I'll let you know how it goes.